How's it going, everybody? My phone's giving me like 8 minutes to make this video. I have to clear some stuff off of it, but I'm gonna try and get across everything I need to. Um, Trump's legal team spoke maybe 2.5 hours ago now, and basically outlined what what evidence they have, and what steps they're going to take in court. To basically prove that the Democrats did rig this election, because they did. Now, they kind of broke it down in parts where, so Trump has a legal team, right? It's not just one lawyer. This is a way bigger job than one lawyer would ever be able to handle. Um, Being totally honest, this is the biggest political event that's happened during my lifetime, and I'm sure that's happened in a very long time. I know his senior legal advisor, Jenna Ellis, said that this is basically 1775, and we all know what happened in 1776. So let me just run over basically what Rudy Giuliani said. So what he said is, in Philly and in Pittsburgh, the Democrat leaders put separate rules in place to make it possible for Democrat voters to come in and fix their ballots when something was wrong with them, meaning the mail-in ballots. And there are over 600,000 mail-in ballots just in Philadelphia, I believe. So you cannot have one set of rules for inner cities and one set of rules for the surrounding areas. The surrounding areas being the Trump areas, because the inner cities are really the strongholds for Democratic votes. So the Democrat leaders had basically put in these rules, and kind of unspoken rules where Democrats can come in and fix these votes if there's something wrong with them. But when it comes to these outer areas, they just threw these votes in the trash and they didn't count. Now he also said, now that right there is a constitutional. They broke the Constitution by doing that. You can't do that. That is a clear overstepping of the Equal Protection Act. You can't have that. And they had no right to make these rules. So also, they didn't allow the witnesses to come in and verify these votes when they opened the mail-in votes. So if somebody, didn't fill out the information right, they could have just filled it in right there, or still put it through whenever it shouldn't have been a valid vote. But we can't verify that, which is why Georgia's vote recount really doesn't mean anything, because they're just recounting these votes that possibly shouldn't have been counted in the first place. So the Georgia recount is kind of a bullshit thing, but let's just mark it as not a win or a loss, right? Let's just kind of move on and do what we can from here. So Sidney Powell, another part of the legal team, basically came out and described the Dominion voting system background, which Dominion voting system was, according to her, was basically put into creation in Venezuela. It's a Venezuelan, I'm not sure if it's a Venezuelan company, but Hugo Chavez is, really close to the project, really close to the system, and was basically involved in the creation of it because he didn't like the outcome of an election in Venezuela. And all of this information that I'm giving you, I'm encouraging you to please go and watch these videos for yourself. You can go to YouTube, C-SPAN, or I watched it on, some clips on Blaze TV YouTube channel, and you'll get all the information for yourself. And please do it whether or not you believe me, whether or not you think I explain this, to the full extent. I obviously can in 8 minutes. So please go do your research on this. Do your due diligence, because it really matters. This needs to get out to the people, and that's kind of where I'm gonna close off on. Other than with Sidney Powell, she said some of the features that are listed on these Dominion systems is that you can adjust the votes, so you can make it so that the Democrat votes count for 1.25 and the Republican votes count for 0.75. So, and she said those are possibly the numbers that were being used in this election. She also stated that it's well known, and there's affidavits from people within Dominion that came out and came forward to them saying that these systems have been used in other countries by the United States of America before to adjust outcomes of elections in other countries. So the Democrats just used it in the United States this time, and they got caught. But so I want to make it really clear how they made it clear real fast. This is not what she said or what they said. This is not a Law and Order episode. This is not done in an hour. This is a long, drawn out process, and they basically called out the media, which is good job, because they're going to try and twist what they're saying and act like there's nothing going on, but people, there's a lot going on right now, and this is a big moment in history. This election was totally rigged. This election was not fair, and it was not a free election, and we cannot have that in our country. If we have that, our country does not stand for what it has always stood for, and in my opinion, it hasn't stood for that in a long time, and I think we need to get it back to that. So this is our first step in doing so. And they did it on C-SPAN rather than doing it, through one of these media companies, because they are so biased. So I'm encouraging you now to go click off of this video and go watch the C-SPAN videos yourself. Go check them out. Get all of the information for yourselves. I am kind of sad that I have like 10 seconds left, but just go check them out for yourselves. I could sit here and explain everything to you, but I think it would really do you best to go and watch them yourselves. But I want to thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe and like and do all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.